Hi everyone, my name is Lucie Maycock and I am a community artist and I'm working with Junction Arts on the Clay Cross Community Art Project. And today this workshop is going to be looking at some of the templates for the birds and the flowers. We're going to look at a way of bringing it to life with colour and a specific way of doing a design. Template. So here is I've drawn around the template, so you'll either have something on a piece of paper like this, or you'll have the actual swallow itself cut out like this. Doesn't matter which, because once you've done yours on a piece of paper you can actually cut it out anyway. All you're going to need is a black felt pen or a black marker pen and some coloured felt pens. I'm going to show you a really simple way of dividing up the bird into little shapes and then colouring it in to create some beautiful, bright artwork. So very simple. So we're going to start with the swallow today. Now I'm going to start by just dividing up the swallow into different sections. On the birds, I like to start with the wings. So I am going to go in with 2 half circles on the wings, and that kind of mirrors the lovely shape of the wing there. All this is really about is dividing it up so you've got some nice areas to colour in. And then I'm going to go from the body in an arc in the opposite way up towards the head. And I'm going to go into a stripe there on the top of the head, and then another line to join that up. I want to continue these stripes in like an arc moving down. So you can kind of make this up as you go along, and you can use any different shapes. I like to start with the wings like I just said, and then I'm going to go down to the next wing. And I'm going to do a circle, I think, in this one. There we go. And then from the circle, I'll do another couple of lines going up. And then I'm going to move on to the body and the tail. So I'm going to start by doing a V shape just there. It's kind of the opposite of the V shape of the tail. And then moving down in V shapes like that, and then just in stripes moving that way. There we go. And then I'm just going to break up this little section here of the body by doing another 2 half circles like that. So I've just sectioned that up. So there's another one that I've done here as an example. Quite similar, not ever so slightly different. And then all you're going to need is your felt pens to colour it in. So I like to use a range of colours, and I like to have the colours very different, so no of the same colour next to each other. So I'm going to go in straight away with my favourite colour, which is purple, and I'm just painting inside the black lines that I've made. Really simple and straightforward. Purple. And then I'm going to go with a light blue for around the outside. Now I'm using broad barrel felt tip pens, but whatever coloured pens you've got, you could use coloured pencils, whatever you've got lying around the house, it's absolutely fine. So I'm doing the colouring quite quickly, but please do take your time, enjoy it. Colouring is very therapeutic, especially in our stressful times. I'm going to go in with the colour pink. The next section. Then I'm going to go for, I think I want orange next. Another orange stripe. Oh, my orange is running low on ink. Let me just get a different one. There we go, that's better. So with the orange all the way up. Now, some of the sections that I've left on this particular design are quite large. You can make them as small as you like. So you could divide this area up into more shapes as well. You could probably lends itself to having a line there to break these two shapes up. And again, you can move in a bit closer and you can create another one there as well if you'd like. So you can make the shapes within the bird or the flower that you're colouring in, and you can make them as small or as large as you want. So I'm going to go in with green next, and then I'm going to go yellow. Be careful with your yellows and your light colours. When you're going near to the black, if you go over the black, it can sometimes make it a bit smudgy. So take your time when you're going near to the black lines when you've got lighter colours. Doesn't matter so much for your darker colours, but it does for the lighter ones. So next I would like a red, and I'm going to go red on the head, which rhymes, which is always great. And also, while I've got the red, I'm going to go with this half circle here, and I'm going to colour that one in red too. So I kind of make it up as I go along, and I go with my instinct and colours that look nice together. So colours that look nice next to each other is always a good place to start. I'm going to get the blue again. I think there's a big blue section there. So I'm going to go with the smaller section here for the light blue. Don't think I'm going to use a dark blue on this particular design. I think the purple's dark enough. And then I'm going to go with the purple again. I think I'm going to do this large area here in purple. I don't tend to have a set idea when starting these out, but if you like to plan your designs, you could always draw around your template or print out a few different templates, and you can experiment with a pencil, and then when you find something that you like the look of, you can do that for your actual finished design. And I'm going to go back with pink. This bit here in between the red and the purple. Oh dear, that pink's running quite low. So we're going to go in with the pink. I'm going to go in. Oh, I've broken my rule. I've put yellow next to yellow. I'm going to go over that. And I'm going to go over it with purple because it's a darker colour. I try not to get the colours next to each other. Don't worry if you go wrong, just do that. Colour over it. Everybody goes wrong from time to time. And I'm going to go with orange. And then I'm going to go in with light blue again. And then yellow right at the very end. You could use the stripes and you could alternate colours, so let's try that on the tail. Let's have alternating green and blue, I think. So I'll do one stripe green, and then one blue. and we can alternate those colours as we go down. I love colouring in. I could colour in for hours, and I think it's very therapeutic, and it's something that's creative that anybody can do. Anybody can get involved in. And then I've done an extra stripe on this bottom one here, so I'm just going to come in. There we go. So that was quite nice with the different alternating colours. I'm going to go back to red. I'd quite like to mirror the red that I've done here in the half circle on this wing too. And that ties in the head and the two circles quite nicely in red. And then I'm going to go in with the big chunk of yellow. Yellow and red look beautiful together. And like I said, just be careful when you're going near the black. You can smudge it in without wanting to. Big chunk of yellow. And then we've got this big space left here. Now, I'm kind of thinking I should break it up slightly. So I'm going to go in with my black pen again, and I'm going to do a line across there. And then I'm going to do just a couple, one on the tip of the wings and one in the middle. Just to break this up into different colours so it's not too much. And then go with purple for this bit. Also, if you have got like a nice thick black marker pen, at the very end you can go round all the black areas, and that always looks really nice and it makes everything look really crisp and clean. I'm going to go in with some green. Now, one of the fab ideas with these lovely birds is to create them, make them really colourful. So we're using felt tips, but we're going to have a go at using paint as well. Cut them out, and you can then display them in your windows in the area, and it's just going to be like a bit of a window exhibition, which is going to be really great. And I'm hoping that lots of people get involved and we see lots of really colourful birds and flowers around Claycross, all displayed in windows. So there we go, we have our finished bird. I'm just going to go around the black, like I said. I'm going to make my black line ever so thicker, ever slightly thicker, not a lot, just slightly. So I'm going to go around the outside first and make it stand out. So when you're doing this bit, my advice is to do it little bit by bit. So look at where you're going to start and then where you're going to finish, and make sure your eye follows the line that you draw. So always looking. If you make it too fat, that's fine. You can always go back in and colour the middle bit in. There we go. So I've done that very quickly. Please take your time, be as neat as you can. And that is a really simple, effective way of doing one of the birds. So that's one that we've just done. And that's one that we did earlier. And now literally cut them out and display them in your windows for everybody to see.